Hello. I just want to talk about ageism actually today. In our society, there exists a prejudice called ageism. It's really not talked about, and it's a little bit more socially acceptable than some other prejudices like racism or even about your weight. You know, it's a very heated issue for these other issues, but when it comes to people over, like women, for example, over 40, and to some extent men as well, when they're over 40, or even people older, like in their 60s and 70s, the subject of ageism seems to be socially acceptable, and people over 40 find that even well-meaning friends and relatives say very hurtful and critical remarks. Right now we're facing the holidays. We're going into, all the holiday seasons. There's going to be a lot of parties and social gatherings. So I just wanted to take a few minutes here before it gets dark. I've got about 10 minutes of light left to talk about ageism. And I'm going to focus on women a little bit more, although it does affect men. But I feel like women take it to heart a little bit more, and just it can affect a woman's self-esteem. It can lead to depression. It can make her feel unworthy. It can make her feel just a host of emotions, kind of a less than feeling, that it's almost like you've become discounted on the sale rack when you're over 40, that sometimes people, without meaning to, put pressure on you about your age. So I just wanted to talk about one article. I have it right here on my iPad. One article said, in our society, there are many remarks about my unmarried status. Now this is about a woman who's over 40 who's unmarried. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you married? Don't you know you're bringing shame to your family? Don't you know you won't be able to have children? You shouldn't be picky because you're old. It's not normal to be an old maid. These comments, they're very familiar. I think a lot of us that are over 40, and sometimes even over 35, have heard these comments over Thanksgiving dinner table, at a holiday party, maybe from your own mother and your own father, or your sister, or your sister-in-law, if you're married, that you don't even have children. I experienced this when I was married for 10 years, even though I was younger, in my 20s and early 30s when I was married. So yeah, married 10 years. I would get a lot of pressure to have children, that I was somehow less of a woman because I'm over age 25 and I'm already married and I don't have 2 children, and the white picket fence. So, I was called names that at the time I used to work in the television business. I worked at a TV station doing ad sales, and also I would produce and write television shows for financial news, for business news, for 10 years. And I used to work really, really long hours, and I would get all kinds of pressure from people who would basically try to put shame on me that I don't have children. And I wasn't ready to have children, and I wanted to wait and just, reach a certain point in my career, and I had career goals and wanted to travel and just enjoy my husband at the time. So this issue is not just single women or married women or just women, but really when you face a certain age, you start getting a lot of age pressure. And it may affect men as well who are over 40, who feel like, I should be further along in my career, I should be making, a 6-figure amount of money, or I should be a manager by now. So, they probably do experience that as well. And what I really want to focus on is that in the media, we watch television, we watch the news and different shows, and the media actually has a profound effect on how we sometimes look at ourselves or our own lives. For example, what kind of brought this to my attention was I was watching television, I was watching the news, and they had Donald Trump in it, and I love Donald Trump. He's one of my favorite. I've read several of his books. So anyway, Donald Trump said about Heidi Klum, who I also love and think she's beautiful, that she's no longer a 10. And I think I'm not really sure how old she is, but she might be around 44. And I just thought, oh my God, she's no longer a 10. I think she's still a 10. But basically, because she's over 40, there's that discounted effect that a woman over 40 is less beautiful or less even, I don't want to say valuable, but some people act like they almost treat you like you're somehow, I don't know the right word, like somehow diminished as a person because you're now over 40, that it's not okay to be sexy and vibrant and beautiful. And there are so many women that are. My favorite, Christy Brinkley, for example, I think she's gorgeous. She dresses really sexy. She's got beautiful long hair. I believe she's 61. She looks amazing. And even she was ridiculed in the news a little bit because she's wearing a really short skirt on this one red carpet. Like, is that age appropriate? And what is this about age appropriate? For example, Christy Brinkley has perfect legs. She does the Chuck Norris machine. She's on the infomercials. She works out all the time. She has a perfect body. And you should be able to wear a short mini skirt at age 61. Or if, anyone who's older wants to wear a mini skirt, if you have the legs for it, Tina Turner, wear it. You look great. And the other comment I heard on the media, Sofia Vergara. She had been previously engaged, before Joe Manganiello. And I think she was about 42 or 41 at the time. This happened a couple years ago. And they broke up. And there were actually some media outlets saying that at her age, she probably can't get another man and this and that. And they were making very negative and ageist remarks about her. And she's gorgeous. And I love the fact that she already has, like, Joe Manganiello is like one of the hottest men on the planet. Now they're an extremely hot couple. So I was like, that's one for her, I mean, there's just so many gorgeous women. My other favorite is Gwen Stefani, for example. Not many people mention her age. They probably don't realize her age, but I believe she's 45 and she is stunning. So there are some amazing, beautiful women over the age of 40. And I just want to say that these negative remarks in the media also affect women at home and how we feel about ourselves. And if you hear, disparaging remarks about a gorgeous celebrity and you're just a normal, regular woman at home, it's like, what hope do you have to still feel good about yourself? Like, you want to feel good about yourself. And if the celebrity is being age shamed, it does have an impact also at home, because if you're, let's say you're a certain color and people are making, let's say you're purple and the media makes fun of purple women and you're purple, you're thinking, why is being purple less valuable? And you start feeling bad about yourself. So ageism is a very important subject, and it's prevalent in the media today, and it seems to be socially acceptable. And I just wanted to make this video that it's not socially acceptable, and a woman should still feel beautiful and vibrant and feel good about herself. And especially right now as we're facing the holidays, like I said, all these parties, and we women, I'm a single woman over 40. As we go to parties, I actually feel great. I never even think about my age or how old am I, or am I single, or I don't even think about it. In fact, for years, I never even told anybody my age, because I feel like age shouldn't matter at all. It's just a silly number on a piece of paper, and you're only as old as you feel. And so I thought it's really nobody's business. And back in the old days, back in the black and white days, women never revealed their age. It became more acceptable in our modern society that women are supposed to reveal their age, and it really shouldn't be. I think since there is so much prejudice about your age, you shouldn't have to. For example, I do some online dating, well, not very much, but I have a profile up just in case there might be someone interesting on there. I've had a lot of rude and negative remarks even about my age, because I normally never put mine down. I would just leave it like an age range, but on this new profile it makes you. And in my ladies groups that I belong to, there's some dating coaches actually on there who, one of the national book author experts suggested that I go ahead and put my age down, my real age. And so I did. I couldn't believe it that, you know, men who never knew before, like, why are they now making these rude comments to me? And I just was like, oh my gosh, this is an issue I've never dealt with before. And some friends and family have made some remarks, which I'm not even going to go into, but I think a lot of you out there have experienced this. And I think the best thing to say is, you know, just keep a positive attitude and not let anyone age shame you at any party or any gathering, and just keep a positive attitude basically. And I think I'm going to make a whole nother video about exact tips, like a how-to plan, or, you know, a list of things to say and do when people like attack you about your age or you start feeling bad, because I don't think any woman should feel depressed about her age. And you know, when I'm older, I want to be like Dolly Parton, or, you know, Jane Fonda or Jane Seymour, you know, who are just gorgeous. Or even Betty Weider. I don't know if you guys remember Joe and Betty Weider, but Betty was still modeling for the magazine, I think up to 70, in her little like leotard that she was wearing. So, you know, she was rocking like this beautiful figure, and she felt great about herself. And I want to feel like that too. And I think all women should. And I have a lot of friends that are over 40, and I know that they are all just get depressed about this issue. So if you have anything to say about this issue, please go ahead and put it in the comments below. If you've ever experienced any kind of age remarks, or even if, I don't want to exclude men, like if you're a man and you've been passed over a promotion because of your age, or you're too old, or, you know, something like that has happened to you, or you're a woman and your family, friends, or even relationships have made comments about your age, or you've ever felt bad, you know, I'd love to hear about it if you put it in the comments below. So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do a couple more videos on this subject. I just kind of wanted to do an introduction to it, since it's so important right now as we're going into the holidays, to keep that positive attitude and feel good about yourself, and not to get depressed if you're a female, especially if you're single. You know, just anyway, stay positive. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.